Yo, what's up guys, it's Heinzel here, back with another video. And yesterday, we finally got the official reveal of the Call of Duty Vanguard Multiplayer. We got to see a trailer and the developers talking about the game for about half an hour, and then a bunch of YouTubers and professional players got to play it and I think stream it, and they all kind of uploaded their own gameplay videos and talking about what they think of the game. So we got a lot of information yesterday. So today I'm going to be going over some of the major details about all that, and I'm going to be giving my impressions of it. Obviously I haven't played the game yet, so this isn't like my full honest 100% opinion. This is just kind of impressions. This is just how I feel about everything I've seen so far, but I will be trying to get my hands on the beta this weekend, hopefully. The gameplay you're going to be watching in the background is a nuke gameplay on Cold War on the map Echelon in Domination. I do play kind of conservative towards the end of the game because I was just really nervous. But yeah, we end up getting the nuke, and it's a pretty good gameplay, so hopefully you enjoy that. So starting off with the pros, let's go ahead and talk about the maps. So back in that Vanguard Alpha video that I made last week, I talked about how I was hoping for some more colorful and vibrant maps for 66. And my wish came true, because these maps look really beautiful. Like, they actually have color to it. The visibility is much better than the Champion Hill maps. So I'm really happy to see that. I'm hoping that they play as good as they look. Obviously, the maps could be beautiful, but, you know, if they don't play good, they're still going to be trash. I mean, just take Modern Warfare, for example. The maps look good, but they played like shit. So hopefully that's not the case. I mean, from what I saw from all the YouTubers' gameplays, though, it looks like the maps all play pretty fast-paced, and the game doesn't seem as campy as Modern Warfare, which is a really good thing. But then again, you do have to keep in mind that this little play session was strictly only content creators and professional players, so these are, like, you know, better players at the game in general, and these are people who typically always try to rush around and get good gameplays. So it could, I mean, I'm hoping it's not just that. I'm hoping when the actual game comes out to the entire public, I'm hoping it plays just like we saw, and it's not a camp fest like Modern Warfare was, but I guess only time will tell. Next up is kill streaks. All the kill streaks look pretty solid, and we do have confirmation that it's going back to a kill streak system and not a score streak system. And we are going back to where your progress resets upon death. Thank God for that. If there's one thing I absolutely hate about Cold War, it's the god-awful score streak system. But anyway, we got, you know, they have the typical kill streaks, counter UAV, or I'm sorry, spy plane, counter spy plane. The glide bomb is coming back, basically going to be like the Predator missile, the cruise missile. We have some newer ones like the flame knot, which is kind of two kill streaks combined into one. It's basically the flamethrower and the juggernaut in one. I think it's a 9 kill streak or something like that. Looks pretty fun. We also have the death machine in the form of the Franken gun from the alpha, I believe. The war machine, which is actually not very good in this current build. I'm hoping they buff that a lot, because from what I saw, it takes like 2 hits to kill someone. That's just, you know, for a high tier kill streak, that's pretty ridiculous. So hopefully that gets buffed. And then for the first time since like Black Ops 2, attack dogs are coming back, and I think they actually have two variations of the kill streak. So I think at 5 kill streaks you get 1 attack dog that just kind of like follows you. But then once you get a 10 kill streak, you get like an actual like pack of dogs, just like back in World at War and BO2 and BO1. So really happy to see attack dogs come back. So kill streak's looking good so far. I'm really excited to play the beta this weekend and try to get my hands on some of those higher tier streaks. Another thing I'm really excited about, and that some of you guys may be excited about as well, if you used to play Call of Duty World at War back in the day in 2008, we are officially getting 2 remakes from that game. It is officially confirmed that we are getting a remake of Castle and Dome. Not MW3 Dome, World at War Dome. I have been wanting remakes of these maps for years. This is the first time they're going to be remade, and I'm just so excited. The nostalgia is really kicking in when I saw those maps in the trailer. You can see them very briefly, but yeah, so already looking good as far as the maps go in this game. And then another thing that wasn't talked about in the reveal, but that was confirmed on Twitter by a Sledgehammer developer, the FOV slider for consoles. It's not going to be in the beta, but it is going to be there at launch, so that's a really good thing. That was something I was really worried about when we didn't see it in the alpha, and when we didn't see it in the beta. And I'm not sure if I could ever go back to just regular 80 FOV or whatever they use on console, because Cold War has really spoiled me to having like 100, 110 FOV, so really glad to see that returning. And since Vanguard and Warzone are running on the same engine, hopefully we'll see the FOV slider for console come to Warzone as well. Oh, and that's one other thing. The new Warzone map, they showed it off a little bit, looks absolutely beautiful. Cannot wait to play that. There were a few things that I saw that I didn't like that much, and I'll just go over those very briefly. I'll start with the more minor things first. So, the scoreboard is just like the Modern Warfare 2019 scoreboard. It shows your kills, but it does not show your deaths. I don't know why they decided to do this again. They're probably just going to try to sell us another watch that shows your KD, just like they did in Modern Warfare. Like I said, it's not a big deal, but it's just like, why take something out that's been a staple in COD ever since? And, you know, that it really irritates me that most likely, just like they did a few years ago, they're probably going to try to sell us something that does show our KD. So another thing that I'm not sure how to feel about is that there's no factions in this game. So you know how, you know, in every game you would have, like, you know, the bad team and the good team. Like, you know, in Modern Warfare we have the Coalition and the Allegiance. Well, there's none of that in this game. And I could be wrong, correct me if I am, but it seems to me like you can use any operator you want no matter what team you're on. So let's say, for example, you're using one specific operator, you could potentially see that same exact looking operator on the other team, on the enemy team. I don't really know how to feel about this, because on one hand it could be kind of annoying. It could cause confusion because, you know, you're going to be seeing the same operators no matter which team you're on. But then again, this worked out okay in previous games like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 where they had the specialists. But then again, I think a reason that it worked so well in those games is because those were more futuristic games, and the characters had like little lights on them. You know, your teammates would have like blue lights that were very subtle, but you could still see them pretty well. And the enemy team would have red lights, so you could, you know, determine which one was an enemy and which one was friendly. Obviously, this is a World War II game. We're not going to have anything like that. So, I don't know. It's not the biggest deal, but it's not necessarily something that I'm a fan of either. But maybe I'm overreacting. We'll just have to see. They talked about this very briefly in the reveal video, but they have a new suppression system in the game where I believe it's either if you're getting shot at or, you know, if someone's shooting around you. I don't know which way it works, but apparently it slows you down. You become suppressed. And now I think there are weapon perks to counter this, but I just don't really like the sound of it. Anything that slows the game down, I'm not really a fan of. To be fair, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know, you know, how noticeable it is, or I don't know if it really makes that much of a difference, but I don't know. I just don't really like the sounds of it. And then another thing on top of that, apparently they said that there's a perk to where when you suppress someone, you can see their character outline through walls. So it's basically kind of like a wall hack perk. Not necessarily a fan of how that perk sounds, but once again, I'll say full judgment. You know, maybe I'm just overthinking and overreacting. But if the perk does become a problem, I will definitely be talking about it. So this is the last thing, and this is sort of a good thing and sort of a bad thing at the same time, because it solves an issue that the game has, but it really pisses me off because it shouldn't be an issue in the first place. So this is the radar perk. There's a perk in the perk 2 slot that basically turns the minimap back to the classic minimap. So by default in Vanguard Multiplayer, when you shoot an unsuppressed weapon, you do not show up as a red dot on the minimap, just like in Modern Warfare. This radar perk fixes that to where you do show up. I don't like this. I like this and I don't like this at the same time. On one hand, it fixes the minimap problem, which is good. I'll probably be running this perk all the time. But on the other hand, we are being forced to use up a perk slot just to have something that's been a staple in Call of Duty ever since COD 4, possibly even earlier. The only game that has ever had a minimap like this was Modern Warfare, and everyone, almost everyone, hated it. They got so much backlash for it, so I don't understand why they thought this was a good idea. I mean, I don't know. On one hand, it's a good thing that we're getting a perk to counter this and fix this, but on the other hand, we shouldn't have to run a perk in the first place for this. It's kind of shitty. So, I mean, I'm pretty much going to be running this perk no matter what. I'm probably not even going to touch the other perk 2 slots. So this is currently all the perks in the perk 2 slot. This could change when the full game comes out. They'll probably add like another 1 or 2 perks, but as of right now, this is what we have. So we have High Alert. Everyone knows what High Alert does. It pretty much, you know, when an enemy's looking at you, it alerts you on your screen. We have Radar, which is the perk we just talked about. We have Forward Intel, which from what I can read, it basically shows a larger minimap. And it also, let's see indicators for enemy reinforcements on your map. So yeah, that doesn't really sound all that great to me in my opinion. And then we have Tracker, which, you know, you can see the footsteps of enemies. So these are all the perks in the perk 2 section. Obviously Radar is the best one out of these, at least in my opinion. So yeah, they need to balance these perks out, or I mean, just make the minimap how it was. I mean, for God's sake. I don't understand why they feel the need to change shit that wasn't broken. I'm still really holding out hope that if they receive enough negative feedback that they will reverse this whole decision. But seeing as they've made it a perk and we're already about to play the beta, I'm not counting on it. But, you know, I guess anything's possible. I mean, Sledgehammer is the best developer when it comes to listening to feedback. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts and impressions about the Vanguard multiplayer so far. Honestly, overall, I'm really happy with what I saw. You know, there's a few things that I'm not really too much of a fan of, like I just discussed, but I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons so far when it comes to this game. And I'm super excited to get my hands on the beta this weekend. Hopefully we'll have some videos for y'all then. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and head out and make sure to comment. What do you guys think of Vanguard so far? Are you going to be playing the beta this weekend? Be sure to like the video and subscribe if you do want to see more. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, everybody.